So the last slide or little video was about factors. I want to remind you again what terms is. Remember, we're comparing and contrasting what the word term means and what the word factor means. So again, terms are quantities that are added or subtracted. Factors you multiply are things that you're multiplying. So 2x and -3 are terms of the left side here. 3x and 1 are terms of the right side. X is a term of the left, 3 is a term of the right. These are also factors. X is a factor of the left, 3 is a factor of the right. A term of the numerator, x -3 is a term of the numerator. This x is a term of the denominator. This 1 is a term of the numerator, or the denominator, sorry. X minus 3 is a factor of the numerator, by the way. Okay. In this expression, x over 4 is a term and x over 3 is a term. So that's just so that you remember the difference between a term and a factor.